Oh, one more thing. My sister called, my little sister, the one that I am close to and I talk to. She's married to this dude, and when he first came into her life, I really liked him and I thought he was really good for her. And then as time went on, it started to be not so good. You know, he started making her feel like she needed to be better, that she needed to change, that, you know, she had to work harder to make him attracted to her, and just all these things, you know, typical patterns of, you know, abuse. It never hit her, but he manipulated her, you know, and I wasn't really pleased with it, but, you know, she was insisting that they were working through it and stuff, and so I started going to counseling, and then he had... Oh. Hi. What are you doing? Ah! You are a silly dog. You're a silly dog. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where did your ball go? What did you do with your ball? Oh, I know. That's ball begging. Apparently she's lost her ball. Go get it. Go get it. I don't know what she did with it. Where's your ball? Go get it. You're interrupting this. Anyways. While he was in therapy, I guess they stirred up issues from his past. And he had a break. And so he ended up having to go to the VA. Because he's ex-Air Force. And be committed and stuff like that. And with all the health stuff, it was very difficult because they were not married. So she decided that the best way to help him and take care of him through all of this was to marry him. And she, at this point, I didn't see him for what he was. I didn't see the manipulation. I empathized with him because I know how it is to have emotional distress and mental distress, and so I was supportive, and so they got married, and then a few weeks later he'd started drinking a lot. It just kept getting worse, and so when they first got together, he wasn't drinking very much, and then it just got more and more and more. What are you doing? This is Jackie, my dog. She's a good dog. What are you doing? Yeah? Okay. So anyways, he started drinking more and more and more, and like pretty much he was just drunk all the time. And then he had to stop working, and just all kinds of, it just, the shit hit the fan and stuff. So one night she calls me and she's hysterical because he was being loud and violent and stuff, and he didn't hurt her or anything, but the police were called and told her to leave, and so she called me to come get her, and then she asked me when I came there to go up and try to talk to him, and I didn't realize how just off the wagon he was, like off the reservation he was, and how drunk he was, and he was just like a mess, a blubbering mess, and just hysterical and dramatic and totally drunk and stuff. And I was in the house, and she went out and tried to talk to him, and he's just yelling and telling her that she's just a bitch and worthless, and telling her to fuck you, and this and this and this and this. And so I went out there and I told her we're leaving. I'm like, we're leaving now, because it was like, we gotta go. And she was just, taking it. And it was like, and then he said something, and I said something, and I was just like, the next thing I know, he's jumping up and in my face, and I wasn't like swearing at him. I was trying to tell him that, look, we're not judging you. We understand, how it is to be overwhelmed with stress and everything like this, and that, everything like, that. I wasn't confronting him and stuff, and he just kept getting in my face like I was a dude, and just in my face, in my face, in my face, and I wasn't backing up, but I wasn't like pushing forward or screaming at him or anything. And then he just kept getting closer and closer, and so I put my hand up to like, stop him. And then Abigail tried to, come in between us, and then he reached out, grabbed me by my throat, and slammed me against the wall by my throat, like that. And he went around Abigail and did that, and then she got us separated, and then he stormed off, and then we went into the house and, ran in there real quick before he could come back, and we got the dogs and got inside and locked the door, and then he started slamming his full weight against the door and trying to break down the door. And then I called the cops, but someone had already called the cops on him already, and so we didn't, when the cops came, he had gone off, and they arrested him for being drunk in public, drunk and disorderly and stuff. And then he was in the back of the police car screaming and slamming his head against the glass. And we didn't tell them about his assault on me, but she explained his PTSD issues and Air Force and blah, 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 blah. And so they took him in on a 5150 and committed him. And that was just the beginning of it. I mean, I understand mental health is not easy. But this has been going on for over a year, and he's not improving. It's one thing, it's not his mental health that's not improving, it's how he treats her, It's like he uses her as a crutch, he uses her as a verbal punching bag, and anything and everything that is wrong, he's blaming her for it instead of himself. He's not taking any responsibility in anything. She's having to support the two of them, and he is not improving. And then he takes it out on her and abuses her and tells her that she makes him want to eat a bullet. And so every time that she would try to, she can't have a bad day, she can't be stressed out, she can't be tired, she can't be negative, she has to always be tiptoeing around on him on eggshells and stuff. And the thing is PTSD and mental health issues, they're hard to deal with and stuff, but he has classic abusive tendencies, and it's like he abuses her. He's never hit her, but he abuses her. It's like he gives her this feeling that he doesn't need her, and so she tries harder and harder to please him, and he has this attitude like, fuck you, I could leave you any minute, I don't care about you. But he has her so wrapped around and twisted and stuff that it's like her whole entire life, and she's always like, yeah, but we're getting better, and he did this, and he hasn't been drinking, he'll stop drinking for a while, even though he's not supposed to be drinking at all because he's diagnosed as an alcoholic, all this stuff. And then she'll be like, and then something will happen and it'll be bad again, or he'll break something in their house, or he'll get them yelled at and in trouble by their landlords, or he'll go spend all their rent money on alcohol, or he'll flip their truck, and then he'll be okay for a week or two, and then he'll, abuse her and hurt her feelings, and it's going on and on and on. And it's like, you can hear it now in her voice when she's like, yeah, but this time, he did this. It's like, that means he's getting better. It's like she's lying even to herself, and I think she knows it now. it's not getting better. And it's hard to explain just without, going over every instance, and you can just see it. It's like, it's not just PTSD and mental health and alcoholism. It's more than that. He's manipulating her and using her, and he knows where to push to get her to live in this life. It's like she's not physically battered, but she's battered. So she weighs every word and watches every action, and her stress level is through the roof. But there's nothing I can say, there's nothing I can do. And so, today she calls me, and he had to be committed for, a stay in the VA again, because he was having a severe, panic attack and stuff. And so it means she's going to have to not do her clients tomorrow and have to postpone them, which means they don't have any money. And then she has to figure out how she's going to come up with money. So she's just overwhelmed and stressed, and there's nothing I can do but give her money and just be an ear. I can't tell her it's never going to get better, because she doesn't want to hear that. She's living in this fantasy that he wants to get better, and even if he wants to get better, he's never going to give her what she needs. He doesn't want to. He even before he had his mental break, he treated her like she was just replaceable, that he could do better, that yeah, we're together, but I'm not really attracted to you, or it made her feel insecure, and like she had to try harder and harder and harder for his affections and stuff. And it pisses me off, because I don't see it getting better, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how far she'll allow herself to be pushed before she just breaks. And I wish she would break, because then she would have to start over. But she's stubborn, and she's already been through one divorce, and I think she wants a family so bad, and she wants to be loved so bad, that she's destroying herself, and it breaks my heart. And I don't want to enable her, but I can't let her drown alone. So I will continue to pay her studio rent, give her a free place to, do her job, and give her money when she needs it. It's just, I don't want to go to prison right now, because there would be no one to take care of her. She's alone, and I don't want her to be alone. So it's just upsetting. I don't know what to do about it.